to this session of leverage AI and communication. Uh, this is, I would say, the most important, uh, again, a very personal opinion, but most important project part of AI, which is data. Okay, because data is everything. 80% of your project is data. So it is the start. Uh, so it has to have few things like the quality, traceability, right? It should be fair. Now the crux is, if you miss, it's like GIGO, okay, garbage in, garbage out. So that is where I would rate this the most important one. Again, a disclaimer that this presentation is independent, and we are not affiliated with uh, PMI, uh, and this is more of an educational. It will help you in your journey uh, as a project manager in AI, or as a leader or a sponsor in AI, to understand which are the important parts, and it will also help you in case you're prepping for exam or mock test. I'm going to say again that this is not the entire piece, and but this gives you a good meat, and you need to understand that while this cannot be a substitute for what you learn from PMI, so please go there. But this could be a good helping point to understand whether you're made for it. Plus, in case you've already enrolled, then this could be a good supporting, not a substitute, content for you to consume, and it will help your journey, speed up your journey, and clarify a lot of doubts, because we have simplified it to the extent possible. So let's get started. Okay, so why is the key here? Okay, and this talks about data preparation. Now, this is the foundation, right? Like, this is the base. This is like, you you're creating a 20 stories building, but you need to have a strong base foundation. Without that, it's not going to work. Your success rate of the project will be lot less. The probability of it will be lot less. So please focus on the foundation. Okay, anything which is incomplete or has biasness or inconsistent will lead to poor model performance. Okay, and even if somehow it passes through, uh, I would not say POC, because CPMAI suggests that POC is not meant for AI projects. More of a pilot is what is recommended. I kind of agree to it, uh, because we need to have some real world data to see if the model really performs. So please be careful. Anyways, in AI, we have this challenge wherein, even if you have uh, the right amount and the right quality and the consistency and reliable data, still in future the data drift can happen. The change in data can impact your model. So starting with the wrong data is like a crime. All right, so please understand, prepare, like, see where the data is coming from, whether it's an ethical source, and whether it aligns with your business goals. Now, this business goal alignment is not meant for just the phase one. It comes in every phase, and it comes in, once you deploy your model. So please think this, like, if you have your own business, you can't say that, in the start of the business I have agreed to a goal, now I am not bothered, right? So till the time you are in business, your goals have to be aligned to what you're doing in your business. So same applies throughout the life cycle here. The next piece is the role, right? Now, you have to be very careful here. Okay, while handling it. Okay, it's not like your traditional data projects, although this is also uh, kind of crisp, right? If you know what I mean, from data project standpoint. uh, CPMAI is somewhat crisp, but it has different flavors to it, I would say. So, but at the same time, uh, we need to make sure that the processes are repeatable, uh, and well taken care, in terms of ethical AI and in terms of uh, trustworthy AI. We need to have few processes in place, and again, this will not be only considered for phase 1 or phase 2 or phase 3, right? It will be considered for all phases. While when we talk about data, we know that the data word is used in phase 2, which is data understanding, and in phase 3, which is data preparation. But actually, if you see, all phases have data, okay, and we need to be very careful when we are considering this, and we have to evaluate each and everything. If your coding is off, your pipeline is off, you can, tweak a bit, change, and that change will cost you, but it may not cost you if your data, your foundation, your base is not right. Okay. Now, understanding the limitations, format sources, because then you need to convert them as well. Then, you know this is more of, just the phase 2 of data understanding, wherein you just have to understand. So there will be a lot of questions in mock tests or in the exam wherein you'll get confused, right? If you read these things, it looks very easy, very familiar, and people who have worked on data project, it looks like, bread and butter. But please remember, when these questions come in, uh, if you have not practiced well enough, if your not concepts are not clear, then you'll get confused whether this particular answer would be for phase 3, which is data preparation, or is it for phase 2. Okay, so please remember, while understanding what is phase 2 and phase 2, remember that you need to figure out what is the difference between them. Okay, and that's where we come to data preparation, right? So if you see, and as a layman, right, here you are actually doing some actions that are changing the data, right? Like, for example, normalizing, labeling, right, uh, documenting, okay, handling missing values, duplicates, all these things that has been shown here is a direct action item to change the data, or at least when we say labeling, to make sure that we understand what specific data we're talking here, right? But data understanding, which is phase 2, is just to understand the data. There also we take actions, but those are very limited. Here, that you are actually prepping the data for next phase, which is your modeling phase. Okay, and this everything, remember, right? Like, uh, that's why the trustworthy part, uh, in the previous session that we had, speaks about traceability, as much as transparent we can, explainability, all these things are critical. Okay. So here, this phase specifically talks about traceability, and this is your data understanding phase. So while you go through these details, right, see here, if you see, it evaluates data quality and relevance, right, identifying data gaps. But if you see, the actions are taken here. Once the data is understood, the next step is cleaning, transforming, and labeling it. Okay, we'll move forward. Now, data bias and fairness. You'll see that this trustworthy AI will keep coming in, and that's why I said, like, make a core of it, and also, if possible, use it in your real life, not just in terms of your professional life. It will help you as well, and the others around you. Okay, so this is self-explanatory. I'm not going to get into much detailing here. Uh, Whatever we can do in terms of finding the biasness, and then figuring out what we need to do, to take what action we need to take, so that our model doesn't represent that. That is where these are the key elements that we have to look at. Data governance. Now, this is something which is more like we have to again keep in action plus a maintenance of that action. Okay, if you see here, right, you have to take action, but the longevity is not there. But here you have to maintain it. Okay, so you need to put some processes in uh, place, and there are some guidelines depending on the geography, right, where your model data is sourced. So all these points come in data governance and documentation. Remember, data versioning and lineage, there definitely will be questions in your mock tests, and I would not be surprised to see more than one question when you go through the exam, because it is very important. Okay, please pause, go through the details anytime during the video. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, or just Google it. It is very easy to find the data information now. You can also use AI to find any clarification question. But the source of truth remains PMI, CPMAI. Okay, not even me, I would say. Now, humans, right? Why are humans involved? So they can help calibrate and at the same time bring things back if it is deviating too much. We all know about ChatGPT and other models that are conversational patterns. They hallucinate, right? So that is where, while these things do not have uh, crazy impacts, but definitely in your models as data scientists, business, you should be reviewing it as in every phase, and even after deployment, like ML ops, the team is supposed to make sure that the data drift, the model drift is being looked at. So human, while we all say that one day we'll have this AI which will think and do everything. Uh, I don't think that is coming anytime soon, or I don't even think that is practically possible, because human will somehow find a way to better it. But yeah, there is an extent that it can mimic us more than what it is doing right now. So here is where human oversight is something that is uh, very essential. And please remember, there will be questions where you'll feel that okay, when we are saying AI or neural networks, deep learning, we would not require human, but human insight, human requirement or checks, balances at a particular toll gate, phase gate is required, and it is essential. So think about this and keep that in your mind while you are answering the question. But think about it, right, like in your real world as well. We have this hierarchy, monitoring systems and all, they are in place and they do well, right? Okay, let's look at this from data to model transition point. Once data pipelines are stable and validated, teams move to phase 4, which means once the preparation phase is completed, you do a go no go, and then if everything looks good, or in terms of no, there are some things that are not that impactful, and you have consulted with the business leaders and other stakeholders, and you got to go ahead, then you can go to model building. But phase 3 success defines phase 4 success. Now I would say phase 4, phase 5, phase 6, everything is defined by uh, not just phase 3, but phase 2 and phase 1 as well. But phase 2 and phase 3 more, because it's data understanding and data preparation for the model. And yes, obviously data understanding is the first piece, and you may have 10 different uh, data sources and 10 different data tables, data sets, but which one you use, which one you prepare for your model. So yes, in that context, phase 3 success defines phase 4 success. This is something that we've been harping on for a while, so remember this. The 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 mod uh, the project management is going to be agile here in terms of methodology, but documentation in terms of data lineage and the processes to govern it are critical. Okay, so remember, when we speak about agile as well, agile also teaches us the same thing. It doesn't let us, it says few things are important in documentation, but doesn't mean that we don't have to document anything, right? People get confused here. Now let's look at a real world example. A financial institution discovered its loan approval AI favored applicants from urban regions. I think it's something that we know, right? Urban population will have more capacity ideally, but the model just favoring it doesn't make sense. It should check few other things, and then the result may still look like, urban are getting more loan approved. But let's see what is the root cause here: imbalanced training data from historical urban applicants. Okay, then what are the CPMAI principles? Re-examine business goals. Okay, going to phase 1. Like I mentioned, it's an iterative process, so you can go back to phases and tweak, change, correct yourself, audited data sources, rebalance data source, and retrained model. Hmm. Okay, the result is increased fairness and improved trust in AI decisions. Okay, let's look at the quiz. I think favorite part of everyone. Uh, in CPMAI, during which phase do teams clean, transform, and label data sets? You remember I was saying, uh, data preparation, data understanding, be clear, right? See, if you see now, there is B and C. So if you have given a thought, then you would know the answer. It's going to be C. Let's take a look. Yeah. Phase 3 focuses on transforming raw data into model ready inputs. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following is not a recommended CPMAI practice for data governance? Documenting data lineage, ensuring data security, skipping human review for faster development, tracking data versions. So, see, I said humans are important, right? And here it is saying no. Exactly. Human oversight is critical for validation and accountability. Let's go to the next one. Multi select. My non favorite. Which of the following are considered best practices in CPMAI data preparation? Select all that apply. Okay, like I always keep saying, either you select, or sometimes it may be a better idea to use process of elimination and start eliminating few things. So I'm going to use process of elimination. Let's see. Documenting process pre-processing steps in good things, so we'll keep it. Ignoring data imbalance to save time. So definitely uh, B is not something that we'll select, so B gets out. Applying data normalization and coding, good thing. Maintaining data lineage and version control, good thing. Re-evaluating fairness KPIs after data cleaning. Good thing. Using multiple data sets without validation. Okay, so B and F goes out. According to me, let's see. Yeah, that's the answer. B and F represent poor data management practices. Okay. So key takeaways, folks. Data is the backbone of trustworthy AI. Structure, ethics, accountability, very key in data preparation. 2 and 3 form the foundation for successful AI outcomes. I was saying data, 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 and that's what it's saying as well. Governance and fairness must retain continuous, not optional. The quality of your model is only as good as integrity of your data. Okay, with that, thanks everyone. Take care. Bye. See you in the next one.